Hello and welcome. Today I want to give you a preview on the learning environment for the upcoming online course CI/CD for webMethods Integration Server. The learning environment contains all necessary components and will be installed in a fully automated fashion. So you just need to run the script, wait a couple of minutes, and then can get started. No need to spend hours or even days trying to figure out what to download, how to install it, and how to configure and connect the various servers. Everything is done automatically for you. Let's get into it. I will give you a quick overview of the various components, what they are doing, and what the high-level architecture looks like. Then there will be a short demo. Here's a list of the various functional areas, and we will now quickly go over the actual programs that have been chosen. For integration server development, the recommendation is to use webMethods Service Designer because it's easy to download and install. If you already have another development environment like a locally installed integration server and normal designer, that is perfectly fine as well. Then comes version control, and these days that is usually a no-brainer in terms of which system to use. We use Git, which is the de facto standard, and we also need a CI, continuous integration server. And I've decided to use GitLab Community Edition because it is a very well-known program and it combines both of these areas. For the binary repository, I chose the open source version of Nexus, and for Docker registry, we take the default implementation or the reference implementation that comes from Docker. And for management of Docker containers, we use Portainer. And you can see that we can basically group all these things into the development environment on the one side and the integrated CI/CD environment on the other. Let's now have a look from a high-level architecture perspective. Again, we have the development environment and the CI/CD environment. And the first thing to talk about is the underlying operating system. For the development environment, there is really no need to go for any particular system. You can choose between Windows, macOS, and Linux. For the CI/CD environment, this is Linux, and it's going to be Debian 12. This is simply necessary because otherwise it would not be possible with reasonable effort to automate the installation and configuration. So the development environment here, we have webMethods Service Designer, and that is just a local installation. And then we have Docker on the Linux side, and inside Docker, the various components we have are, like mentioned before, GitLab, Nexus, the registry, and Portainer. And together, these make up the learning environment. With that said, let's jump into the demo. So here we are on my test VM, and I've already changed into the directory that contains the installer. Let's have a look. And you can see that there's a shell script called install.sh, and that's what I will be running now. Here we go. This will now take a while. It will install all the required programs, particularly Docker, download the Docker images, start up the various images, configure things like user accounts, passwords, create a demo project, and then everything will be started so that you are ready to go. Now, this is going to take a while, and I will now speed up the video, and then we'll meet again when everything's finished. Now that the installation has been completed, let's look what we got. Starting with Portainer. And you can see here that we have 6 containers running. Now, this is the list, and if you've paid attention before, you will realize that there's an additional container here, or 2 actually. One is GitLab Runner, belongs to GitLab, and it's used for executing the CI/CD jobs. And at the bottom, we have webm-msr, which is a microservices runtime instance serving or simulating production environment. Let's move on to GitLab. And here you can see that we already have a project. This was created during the installation via the GitLab REST API, and it serves as a starting point, basically. Now, if we go into the jobs overview, we can see that 3 jobs have been executed, 1 has failed, and that is actually expected. If we look at the job description, you can see here at the deploy job that the very first command to be executed is exit1, which basically means stop right now and signal an error. We will come back to this in a minute, and then the exit1 command will be removed or commented out, and then you can see the effect it has. But before that, let's head over to Nexus. And check out what the first 2 jobs in GitLab have actually achieved. We can see here that we have a repo webm, and in there is a folder for the course and a zip file with our test package. Because of the exit1 statement at the deploy job, this package is supposed to not have been deployed yet to our integration server instance. You remember the webm-msr container. So let's go to webMethods and see whether it's not been deployed yet. And here you can see that it's just the out-of-the-box packages that are on the system. Now let's change that and have the package installed. There's only one thing that you need to do, and that is comment out the exit1 command and commit the changes, which will trigger another job run. This will take a while, and I will speed up the video here. Okay, and now we are at the critical stage. Et voila, everything seems to have gone through. Now let's go back to integration server. And we need to wait a little bit until the auto deploy kicks in. That is actually a good opportunity to switch over to the console and have a look into the container. And now we can see the server log file, and any second the deployment will kick in. Here we go. And if we refresh the package list, we can see that our test package has been installed. And with that, we have seen a full CI circle. I mean, it's a little bit of a demo, but it shows that the components work together, and we'll take it from here. I hope you have enjoyed this short video and look forward to your questions and comments. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.